morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser on a Friday, where we are, as always, brought to you by Reckless Coffee Roasters, and we are freaking reckless. So it's been a while, but we have gotten the Friday crew together. Why do you have an empty mug, dude? You need coffee over there? What's going on?
I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee at all?
No, I only drank it when Reckless sent us the coffee over, and it was good. But I don't drink coffee, period. I drink tea every day.
But if you did drink coffee, what coffee would it be?
If I drank coffee, I would be reckless not to drink reckless coffee.
Exactly that.
Yes, the trio is back. Kazi is here as well. What's happening, Kazi? You have coffee.
I do have coffee. I do have.
Which is really weird for a British dude not to be, rocking the tea.
Yeah, very stereotypical there. Young.
It's a good way to start, guys. Hello.
Well, I mean, no, I do need a morning coffee. So I've been up since 2:30 with my 3-year-old. So I've been watching the golf in the UK, and I'm thinking this is my 4th cup of coffee, maybe.
Yeah, that would put me right back to sleep if I was watching. Ryan is back and in full action. Cersei as well. As people gather around, there's not a lot of headline, and I think we're gonna have to make up our shit as we go over here. I know there was a game, I should say, behind closed doors today, right? With Preston, I want to say, right?
Usually.
I don't know what the hell came out of it, but it's behind closed doors, so we don't know shit about it anyway, unless you were behind the door peeking in. So, but there's a couple of news to get to, and then we figured, actually, Kazi figured we would play a game, and then why the hell not? Because I didn't have anything else planned. Anyway, so let's go with this first. Kazi, I want to ask you this mostly. This kind of got semi-official. I think when we were on air on Wednesday, and my reaction was, meh. I normally did not care. I know a lot of people mostly care because of his Everton background.
Yes.
As somebody who despises Everton,
I do.
Do you care?
I think it's absolutely hilarious. I am into signing every former Everton player if they're half decent, just for my own personal gratification of how funny this is. I want him running up and down the line when we score a last-minute derby winner. If he's going to be all in, go all in, kind of thing. It was a bit like when Sammy Lee went to Everton under Sam Allardyce, and I think he celebrated the goal when Everton scored, and I was like, ooh. But now it's so listen, I have no idea what he's like as a coach. I don't really care, because he's an assistant coach, and I don't think we should care as fans, but if the manager trusts him, and the main part is if the other lads trust him as well, then if he's the right fit, he's the right fit. But it is hilarious to me because the type of player he was blood and thunder, big, tough centre half, you know what I mean? And he just seems like one of those die by the shirt type of fellas. But as soon as Liverpool come calling, it's always kind of funny that they go, we die by the shirt. Until the big lads come.
I think these guys, basically, they take their playing career. Here's another thing. It's not like he played in Everton all his 18 years or something like that either. He's moved around a little bit. Yeah. And it was an Ajax. And, obviously they have an awesome youth system and stuff like that now. So it's a good guy to add to the mix. And I actually thought if you take the Everton out, or if you don't care about the Everton part like I don't, I think it's a good resume. It fits. And then, we keep talking about, the league and the freaking, learning the city and stuff like that. It's a good guy to kind of say, hey, by the way, these things go like this over here and stuff if need be to slot.
Yeah, and wasn't he at West Ham last season and did an okay job as an assistant over there at West Ham for David Moyes? So he's familiar with the league. He knows what he's doing, but it makes him. I'm happy with it. I don't mind it. But it makes me wonder, was it a desperate move because his assistant coach didn't get the work permit and couldn't come by? So they kind of scrambled and okay, shit, we got to find someone. And then he popped up? Or was this something the club had planned from a while ago? That's the only question I have. But it's not a bad thing. I don't mind. He was an Everton player, but he was also he was a West Ham assistant manager. He was an Ajax player. He was an Ajax academy coach. So it's not like he comes in and we're like, oh no, there's a traitor among us. Now I guarantee you that's how the Everton fans feel. So it's a good
Right.
Gordo is still chasing running storm damage tickets. Like, damn, man, it's actually been beautiful after those ridiculous storms we had. We were talking about it on Wednesday. Tornadoes everywhere. Gordo's going around getting power to the people, like literally, like electrical power. But that's what he's actually doing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You look at the guy's resume. I like the fact that he's worked with like the youth teams and stuff like that. He's worked at Ajax. I just don't think why. Why do you think there's? I don't know. Like I was trying to put it into a different perspective. I'm like maybe because I don't feel like that on Everton. If somebody was in Galatasaray but it's not even like they were there for 18 years. They were there for 5-6 years. They came to. I almost feel like this is like a second career, second gig. I really don't even care as much.
Think of it this way: if it was an Everton born and bred, there is whole life. If it was, what was it? Seamus Coleman. I would want him nowhere near the club, right? If it was Tim Cahill. Tim Cahill was so crazy about Everton. I would want him nowhere near the club. But we're talking about a guy who wasn't really a big Everton career player. He was just a journeyman, and he kind of just had a stop over there, and he moved on. So
I agree with you, and I agree with you. But by the way, he played really well for Everton. Like he was a really good player for Everton. Like I think he's there 4 or 5 years. If I remember correctly, I think he played centre half when we beat them 2-1 in the FA Cup semi-final. I think it was him and Lescott who was centre half.
How the fuck do you remember these things, bro?
I know, bro. It's sad, isn't it?
He remembers anything where Everton lost.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah,
and it's understandably so. We'll never understand that, but he will.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah. But listen, he was an half decent centre half. But as you just said, I think he had a stint at Ajax manager a couple of years ago.
Yeah, like took over in January, I think, in terms of like June or something.
And he had an half decent record. I think he had an half decent record there as well. So fair play to him. Listen, and it's a bit like I don't understand because Van Nistelrooy went back to United,
yes,
as a coach, and he was like a first team manager somewhere. It's like these like lads who've had like opportunities and done okay. But was taking steps back to go back to a bigger club and be a second choice, which sounds weird to me because Van Nistelrooy was like kind of touted to be a really top manager and did quite well at the club he was at, and that's what I'm saying. I think I've just checked his record there. I think Heitinga lost 4 out of 22 at Ajax, which is not a bad record. He won 14, 63% win percentage, pretty good. It's not horrific. You think he would get a good first team job, but he's happy to take a step back.
It's weird how football has taken that little bit of the basketball twist. Doc Rivers was like a Celtics coach, and then they're like a few years later, it's like, yeah, I'll be the assistant coach at Golden State. Sure, no problem. And then all these big name coaches are becoming assistant coaches. But the weirdest one, speaking of what he just said, Mexico. Did you guys see what Mexico did?
No.
They had a horrible Copa America, right? So they sacked their manager. They got a new manager, then they rehired their manager as the new manager's assistant coach, and they gave him a contract to become the head coach again in 2028. And it's freaking 2024.
What?
But he got a contract for 4 years later. It's like, you know what? Be the assistant now, and in 4 years, you're the manager. Sign here. So
I would not want to be a manager of the guy who's going to be taking over my job in 4 years, because that's going to be.
I wouldn't want to be the assistant for the guy who just took my job.
Well, that's another thing.
Don't be surprised don't be surprised if the German FA do that with Klopp and Nagelsmann. You can have the World Cup, but in 2 years, fella, he's definitely the manager.
Okay, wait, how old are these people? I mean, is the other guy like 14?
Well, the new guy is older. And the former coach, who is now the assistant coach, he's going to be the next coach, is younger. He's in his late 30s.
I mean, I don't know the individuals involved. I mean, like,
it's the Mexican Football Federation, brother.
Like that, where they bring, it's like a Klopp-like guy, or the guy that's taken over is a guy that everybody like really respects and be like, it's not an offense to be his assistant. It's just freaking awkward overall. Or like the new guy is too old, can't use a computer. He was like, why don't you do the emails? And then he'll do the coaching kind of thing.
It's just weird because that manager, and I don't want to go off topic, but he was so hated in like the last few games from Mexico. Like the fans wanted him out, but the federation has backed him so much that they didn't want to fully sack him. So they sacked him today. They made him the assistant tomorrow. So like the fans were like, yeah, he's gone. The next day we're like, wait, he's back?
He's in the background. He's like, just working as an assistant here. Like,
speaking of managers, Thiago's officially a coach. Off topic. Go ahead. Continue with the episode, guys.
I'm gonna, by the way, on this Thiago coach thing, I am going to say something out there. He'll play for Barcelona this year.
No way. Let's do
I'm
this. Let's
I'm
do this.
telling you.
It's betting time.
Let's
I
put
don't know
6
why
donuts on this.
I think he might feel like he's got unfinished business if they have a couple of injuries sent him in, and he thinks, but like the Paul Scholes thing, where he just comes back for a little while for United, and
Can
he
you
just
do
thinks,
that though? Because you don't like. I mean,
He's
you're
got to
not
have a
licensed as
registration,
player.
and he's registered as a
You can't be
coach.
like, you know what?
But
Put me in,
listen,
coach.
it's Barcelona. They've done some
I know.
shadier shit.
I'm also thinking you just sack him and just register him as a player. And
Yeah,
this
they've
thing-
done some shadier shit, so I
I don't
wouldn't
know
be
if you have a
surprised.
homegrown rule, but of course he's Spanish, so that wouldn't matter anyway. And I just feel like he might think I've got unfinished business. If they've got a couple of injuries sent him in, and I just feel like I reckon he's going to be one of those in training, but he's the best player. He's still the best player in training by a mile. I always go back to the story with Glenn Hoddle when he goes to be the England manager, and he's doing corner kicks with Paul Merson, and he's going, just put it there, and Paul Merson couldn't do it. And Glenn Hoddle went, 1 second, I'll show you, and just whips it perfectly, and just do that. And he's like, I can't do that because you're better than me. Like, just like Thiago in it, like trying to train, like, just do this.
Yeah,
No.
that could be like he's trying to show Pedri. He's like, fuck it, I guess I'll show you.
just
Somebody
show
give me a
you.
jersey. I'm playing tomorrow.
And then Nancy Flick is like, wait a minute, he's actually good. You want to play tomorrow?
See that
But
lad
then gets
45
injured as he's
that
putting the
lad
jersey on.
45 yards away. When the ball's on the bounce, it's with a side foot like that, straight to his foot. No one can
But
do
can
this.
you imagine this Barcelona team, how they're going to be
Awesome.
playing? They're all going to do that little hip turn when they get the ball. Everybody's going to be like, come on, guys.
It's my outside shout of the season. My big outside shout. Everyone always has a big outside shout of the season. You know what I mean? And I think
And
Thiago
you picked this one?
Starting to sound like me there a little.
I'm counting a pre-season friendly. I'm counting it, but I'm telling you, he'll do something.
I was gonna say I can see if it's like Anand's choice, but okay. So, can he manage if he injures himself in trade? That's what I'm afraid of. He's gonna be like, "This is the hip," and then he's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's why nobody's gonna be doing that hip turn as he's trying to show that."
But now that Kazi said that, okay, I'm actually annoyed because the picture of him training, he was playing. He wasn't training. He was fully suited up. He even had a sleeve on and everything. He was playing.
I don't know. Listen, it's just an outside shout. Everyone has a crazy outside shout of the season.
This is going to be like Barcelona's scam right there. They only have financial issues. They're like, hey, we'll hire a coach.
I'm like doing math in my head. I'm like, this is starting to make sense. They just signed him on a free. They're not putting him on the wage bill. And then all of a sudden, sorry, everyone's injured. Thiago starts. Let me order a Thiago jersey. Hold on.
Kazi is getting in your head. Don't let him get in your head.
I don't know where it come from. But it just seems like if they had a couple of injuries, you might well look and go, we have a Copa del Rey game away and we haven't got a fucking lad. Any chance? Do you know what I mean? Any chance? That's all. I don't know.
I'll keep my eye out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get. It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation, and we're making Kazi's wish come true this morning. We're playing keep, loan, or sell.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're
Kazi.
gonna get to the whole squad, as I was saying, because we don't want to go like 18 hours over here, and I know some of them is gonna get a lot of discussion. But like Kazi is saying,
Maybe
I would
skip the younger fellas that are not gonna have a big role. Period.
I think the younger fellas are more of a chat than the bigger fellas. Like,
yeah,
Alex
like
Morgan
which
is
one are you
more-
keeping? Which one are you loaning? Which one are you
Okay,
cashing? You
So
know?
for the sake of my head, skip Nunez because I know what Kazi's gonna say. Okay, go.
There'll be some time savers, but okay. Like this, number uno, Alisson Becker. Keep.
Easy.
Yeah,
But
keep. We can just
I'm
skip.
waiting for Anand because
We
there's
can
gonna
just
be like
skip.
some crazy take, so you never know.
Cool.
Pitaluga.
Keep whatever. Don't care. Loan.
Too young doesn't affect us in any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
I'll go loan because
No,
I think
don't care.
that Jaros who got picked for Czech Republic might have a higher ceiling than him, so I'll just say him. But so loan him.
Yeah,
Sure,
loan or
loan
don't
him.
care.
Again, doesn't affect me.
I think a don't care category is not too bad. I know it's
Yeah,
not normal
yeah.
how the game is played, but we're making our own fucking rules as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelleher.
Sell.
See, and you're like, we'll go really fast.
No. I mean,
This is a tricky one.
This is a tricky one. I'd sell him.
I think we have to sell him because he wants to be sold. So it's a sell.
I think
we sell him because he's a very valuable asset you can get a lot of money on, and it's not an asset that's
Keep
worth
in mind, we don't have
your
Adrian
bank.
anymore. We don't have Adrian. So we would need to
Ooh.
sign a backup keeper if we sell him.
But
That's
that's what
all-
I mean. You can get him a lot of
Yeah.
money for him. You can sign somebody experienced, like an experienced goalie, Adrian, who will be okay with the backup role to sit behind Alisson and can be relied on when the time is needed. Instead of I don't know how much we would get for him, I guess, but in my head, I'm thinking 20, 30 million or something like that for a player like Kelleher. I don't know if it's worth keeping a guy at that money who's really ultimately never going to play unless there's an injury or
I hear
unless
Scott Carson's available, so we can make a move there.
My argument is on this one is that if Jaros is as high a ceiling that you think, he's just been picked for the Czech Republic, just make him your second choice and don't sign a keeper. Just make Jaros your second choice, Pitaluga your third, and go from there. And do you know what I mean? And just give Jaros the games if that's what you think he is.
That's what Mateusz is saying too. I don't know. Are you okay? Like, if we do that though, I'm sleeping with one eye open.
I mean, if you're gonna give him the League Cup games and the odd game,
I mean, is it just me that it's almost like Alisson is going to be out for 4 to 6 games where he would normally start?
But what can experienced goalie like a fucking Wayne Hennessy or someone do more than a kid who's 22? There's not much difference. It's coin toss of a keeper. But until you don't know about the ceiling of the keeper until you give him a chance, it's a bit like Kelleher. We didn't know about his ceiling until he got a chance. I don't know.
But I don't know. It really depends on. I mean, I always go back to how defenders feel about a goalie, and how defenders play really is based a lot on the goalie behind them. It's just like a psychological thing. So it depends on if these guys in practice are impressing the hell out of the guys where they're like, man, that guy is really good. Nobody freaking knows him. Yeah, but if you're going to put the back four in front of a guy that they're like, ugh, can't let anything happen because the guy behind us is shaky, it kind of affects how everybody on the pitch plays. I guess that's my concern. It really depends on how much confidence the squad has on him.
And I mean, I have no idea, by the way, about this Jaros and how he plays and how he kicks a football. All I know is he won the league last year, and I think he won the cup. I think he done a double in the Austrian league, Sturmgratz. So I just feel like if you're going to... What do you do with these other people, though, Tim, if you don't give him a chance? Kelleher's at the point now where you sell him, you get good money for him. He's at his highest point. It's like Nat Phillips 4 years ago. Nat Phillips should have been 4 years ago when he was at his highest point of value. Do you know what I mean? Kelleher, I don't think Kelleher's going to get any higher in value than what he is right now. So you make a call. You're either at Liverpool for your fucking rest of your career, or you sell him today, or like this summer, and give Jaros a chance. Who knows?
Yeah, that's why I think I'm on sell as well. Anand, what did you finish with? Did we convince you to sell?
No, I said just sell because he wants to be sold, not even because we want to sell. He just wants to go.
Okay.
He kind of wanted it, not as bad last year. I think last year was a turning point because he got so many games and it wasn't just
he got many games, many clean sheets. Was it 5 of his first 6 games that he started? We had clean sheets, and I'm not necessarily crediting it to just him, but he had a big role in him. Going to the cup final, everything he did said, okay, now I'm ready to be a starter. This club isn't going to start me, not because I'm bad, but because there's Alisson. So it's time to move on.
Ryan agrees as well. And Mateusz, were we aware of Kelleher's ability? No, and I think that's why last year, I mean, we kind of knew, like, we weren't panicking when he started. I think people were a lot more comfortable when he was in the lineup as opposed to, like, if you put Adrian or somebody.
We knew he was a good keeper, but we didn't know how good of a keeper he can be once he gets that starting role for a whole string of games. And he showed his value. So, hey, cash out, move on.
Okay, let's go back to the lineup over here, the squad. Defenders, Joe Gomez. Right off the bat, we start, I think, what I consider is a tricky one. I say keep.
Keep. Definitely keep.
Okay, that was easy. I thought it was going to that was smoother than I thought. Okay.
I think it's easy. I think it's an easy, that one. I think what he can do for like various positions, he's definitely a keep.
Van Dijk.
Give a new contract.
Yeah, keep.
Keep only if he's signing a new contract. Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going with that.
I think the next one's more of an interesting one, trust me.
Really? Konate, I guess.
Well, the question is, what Konate do you get? A full season Konate or a 4-game a season, and now you're scrambling midway through the season because you needed another defender?
You're never getting a full season Konate.
Oh, man.
I thought.
My Konate thing goes round. I'm literally up in arms with Konate. I think if you get 40 games out of Konate, you keep him, but you just can't guarantee it. I think Liverpool get £50 million bid for Konate. I'd sell him. I think he has the highest ceiling, like a really high ceiling of being a top centre half. But if he plays 25 games a season, that doesn't help me. So, especially when Liverpool plays 60 games most seasons. So, I don't know. I probably just keep, because there's other work to be done. But if Liverpool didn't have like issues in the wing and like centre mid, then he'll be one of the first on the chopping block for me, to be honest.
I think the problem is we already need center backs. That's probably why I'm saying keep.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got number one. I mean, when we've seen times where we were like, oh, he's the future. And then we've seen times they're like, oh my God, he's the past. So I think more of a, you definitely keep him. I know what you mean, Kazi, but in terms of value. But I mean, like what we said about Kelleher, I feel like this is kind of a reverse situation. Maybe not at his lowest value, but I think, if you sold him when he was healthy and his peak, you would probably get another like 20, 30 million and stuff like that. Just the fact that we need more people is why I'm kind of.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think if there's other business that needs to be done, but I think if the other business was already done and Liverpool were like in a perfect spot and just adding a couple of additions, I think he definitely would be on the chopping block for me. The Liverpool's biggest decision they got to make is what is Joe Gomez. Gomez doesn't play a game centre half last season.
That's going to be the conversation, right? Like, what is he going to be like? Hey, man, I like.
We'll have that chat, by the way, when we get to left back. We'll have that chat about what Joe Gomez is.
It's coming up next. It's coming up next. What do we say for Konate? I'm saying keep.
Well, it's keep because we're aware of what he can do, and we don't know what Konate we get next season, and we know he's going to be our starting center back. Now, after the season, halfway through, that's when we decide what happens with Konate. But as of now, he can't go anywhere. We need him more than he needs us.
Is he your number 3 right now, or number 2?
He's my number 3.
He's your number 3. So it's.
I think Kwanzaa. I'll give Kwanzaa. I don't think he's done anything wrong to be deserved to be dropped.
Yeah, I think it's Verge and Konate, and then Kwanzaa, and then Gomez.
You're putting him as 2.
But I think Konate, to be fair, when he came in last season, he was fucking terrible.
He was horrible. The last 10 games of the season looked like he's never played football in his life.
That's my issue with Konate, fella, and I think this is the biggest season of his career.
Well, when we get to Sepp, we'll see where the conversation goes, so we can continue. So we're all
here. We go. Costas. I say sell.
I say keep because Robo starts. Gomez is their backup, and then you've got Costas, who's a natural left back.
Mm-hmm.
We need a natural left back in the squad. You can't rely on Gomez, who we know is going to get injured, and Robo, we know he's going to get injured or suspended. So you need a natural left back. You also need somebody when you're playing 60 games that can play that position.
That's fair.
Well, I'm not saying don't replace him, but I feel like you can probably get like 10, 15 or something like that. If you can get that, I would do that and put a young player there as a backup.
Would you keep Owen Beck?
The kid?
That's why I would keep it. I would rather sell.
I'm going to second. He started and was brilliant for Dundee United and was their best player last season. And he has to be rewards for going out on loan and playing well. So would you?
I think he gets loaned out again.
Okay, interesting.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, that's why I feel like these are going to be dependent on each other.
Okay,
I would sell Costas because I would keep Beck and I would cash in on Costas.
Another question, and I'll post here. Would you sell Costas and sign Ryan Sessegnon on the free?
Yes.
Ryan
Sessegnon was supposed to be the biggest thing in England.
Right?
He's 24 English,
and now he's still in his 20s as a free agent. Yeah, definitely. But that's again a natural replacement. I just don't see us replacing Costas if we sold him if it's not a free transfer. I don't think we're going to spend money on a left back this summer. I just don't see it happening.
I would have done Ryan Sessegnon on the day he left Spurs.
Andy,
keep.
You don't sell
one of Liverpool's best players from February onwards. He got his form back. Yeah, keep.
Reece Williams. Sell.
Didn't even know he's still here.
Sell. Yeah, I saw it and I'm like, what are you talking about, Reece Williams?
Yeah.
And that was more like, oh, he's still here? Like, he's not sold yet.
He's another one. Feel sorry for the kid. The loan spells haven't worked out. I don't think we picked the right clubs for him. And yeah, so it's time to move him on, unfortunately. He goes to Port Vale and Aberdeen, doesn't play a game.
Says keep Costas so I can see the dream back 4 in South Carolina. I think you're gonna see
that is a nightmare.
There's nobody else to bring because I think Sparky was putting in the comments earlier that there's gonna be a ton of people, but yeah, you're gonna get your money's worth, baby, in Colombia over there. Okay, Phillips, he puts his head everywhere. Sell.
Easy.
That was one. Oh, here we go. Trent.
Like keep in 1,000 times.
We could just skip this one. This is just a non-negotiable. Move on.
The rest of the show right here.
It's not a conversation, is it, Tim?
Yeah, Tim, just move right on this one. I know the talk is Real Madrid's interested, all that bullshit. Move on. Just
Tim, have your issues with sense. I understand, but you can't sell 10,000 grand around.
Yeah.
I would sell him if Slot is sitting down thinking, "What the fuck I'm gonna do with this?" If Slot has
what do you mean by that?
Go for it. If he has a clear-cut plan for it, if we're still doing this, is he a right back or is he a this thing?
That's fair.
You know what I mean? But if he has a clear plan for it and saying, you know what, this is how I'm going to play, and this is, I'm going to use him just like I did Frimpong or something like that, then I'm all for it. Otherwise, talking about being able to cash in at their peak, I think he would be the guy. I don't think he's going anywhere just because obviously he's a Scouser and he's, like the club means a lot more to him. He's just not like a mercenary contract kind of a deal. Yeah. But my thing is, if you don't know what the hell you're going to do with him, like if it's a question mark in your head, or when they sit down and talk with Slot and Slot says, this is what I'm going to do. And he's like, oh man, I want to be a midfielder or something. Then sell him instead of
then you tell him yes sir and you give him what he wants.
Yeah, I know.
But I also think as well the decision would have been made by Michael Edwards and Hughes and would have told Slot in negotiations to be the manager of what your plan is with Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yes, I would think so too.
I think this is the biggest sum of his career. Liverpool have to make a decision what he is. Gareth Southgate's either in the Euros, but we all know he has the tactical nous of a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So I think midfield could work for Trent in certain tactical setups. I think 4-2-3-1 works for Trent massively. Because but you need lads with runners around him, but that's by the by. But for the sheer ability on the ball, you keep Trent Alexander-Arnold easy.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in his midfield performances in the national team and stuff. It's just not that works for him. Yeah, I think it would be unfair to judge him on that. But and obviously, if you're going to keep him, it would be on an extension. I think of all those three guys, Mo and Van Dijk and stuff, that goes without saying that. If Trent is staying, he's staying because he signed an extension. Otherwise, I don't think. I mean, that you're definitely selling him because it's.
And my heart tells me we see that news this summer. Trent extension, Van Dijk extension, and Mo extensions.
I think you see. I actually think you see when they come home from Aldi. I think when Virgin, it just gets tied off. They just go, it's already been agreed. Just go and take it all.
When are these guys coming back? I was looking at, like Fenerbahce had some of their guys come back, but some of them did not play as much in the Euros. But the guys who played are just now coming back.
You want to count 3.5 weeks after their last game in the Euro?
It's August the 6th, I think, or something like that. They're coming back. August.
Okay.
Early August, yeah.
Damn, that's quite a holiday. But they probably should get it. Sep.
I mean, this is the question, right? If you keep Sepp, you don't do a centre half, do you? But that's you know what I mean? So do you keep him or not? I think if you ask me in 4 weeks after a few pre-season games, I think you'll get a better, clear answer out of me. Right now, he's probably just a keep.
You're buying into that, by the way, because we actually just published a clip where I asked the Wednesday gang about that. Like, are you buying into that? Are they really looking at these preseason games where, I mean, okay, let me ask you this then. Is it freaking fair to judge him on Mateusz's Carolina sightseeing tour?
No, of course not. Not defensively you judge him, but I think you judge him on the ball about what he can do, carrying the ball out and what he can do that way. But I don't think you judge him.
You're going to look at the tactical side of the player and not the, your tackling. You're going to see how he fits in the vision that Arne wants, right? And then from there, you'll make that decision. And I think he's a keep, and I think he's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I don't know if you thank you. You saw my comment on the video on the YouTube. I said, if this guy gets a chance, he's going to be huge. But if not, then we might as well sell him. And this is where I stand with it. If we give him a chance and let him run a few games, we might say, I think we found our number 2 to partner up with Verge.
So he's like the next Kwanzaa, maybe.
There's an argument, though. Again, this is where you don't know what you do with Joe Gomez. Because if you just have 4 centres, say Joe Gomez, you go, you're playing back up, left back, you're filling it right back now and then, whatever. We'll get to Bradley in a second, by the way. And then you can't have 6 centre halves. Like, that's just insane. Like, even like we've had injury issues, but 6 is a lot of first team players that you would consider first team. 5 is always like the nice fine spot. Yeah. That's where the Kanate conversation comes in. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's all a bit. I think Liverpool. I've said this before to you, Tim, on these shows. I think Liverpool have a big issue centre half because of the so many players who are coming in, like who's coming back and stuff. It's really interesting.
So, are you keeping Sepp at the end?
I would keep him, but ask me in 4 weeks after a few. I want to see him. And there's also apparently he can do a bit right back. I think he played right centre back for the few.
He did, yes. And that's what I remember. Like when he first came, there was like he's a right centre back and a right back. And then I saw him play, and I was like, dude, this takes like 10 seconds for him to turn back around. And it was like a League Cup game or something like that. He looked very slow, but then I've seen clips of him since. And didn't he record like the fastest sprint time or some crap like that in the Bundesliga or something like that?
I'll say this: every time Jurgen loaned him out, he made sure it's no buyout clause. He's got to come back. So that tells you that he saw something in the guy. And I don't want to keep bringing up the former manager, but if he loaned him out 3 times and every single time he said he's got to come back, and then he loaned him out again because he sees that there's more room for development. I think this is a guy that we should look at seriously, potentially being one of our big names in the season. If not, then you sell him. But I think Arne is going to work with him, and I think we see a little Dutch connection in the team.
See, here's the thing. I would buy that, but usually we should have a segment, by the way, saying what would Klopp do? And but no, how often did Klopp loan the guy over and over and over again, and then eventually put him in the lineup? Once he makes up his mind after a loan or so, we kept the guy like Elliott or somebody like that. Yeah. That was the plan. I mean, when we loaned somebody over and over and over, it was like until the contract was up or until somebody came in to buy him. Yeah. He kept Kwanzaa.
We had an offer for him from Mainz. Mainz
Yeah.
wanted to buy him. Offer got rejected. Mainz went in all in to buy Sepp, but like we rejected the offer.
Yeah, 5 million or something. I keep him for that.
Yeah, I mean,
I give him a chance.
They want 20 for him.
That's where that's where the argument is, though, fella. You can't have 6, so do you sign a centre half on it? That's the question. You keep Sepp, no centre half, because we've all just agreed that you wouldn't sell the others. So that's where the management team has a big decision to make this summer. But there's also another part with one of your targets in Ugarte and the other one in Euro, and we're going to the other lads. So your targets are actually getting further down.
Yeah.
The pecking order. Liverpool don't sign 7 choice players on the list. Like Liverpool will wait 12 months to go and sign first and second choices. Liverpool don't go and sign 7th. So Liverpool might just go, you know what, it's better the devil you know. Just keep Sepp. We'll see what he's about. And you can say, well, you had your chance this season, it didn't work out.
We've got Champions League football next season. We've got Champions League football. We've got the Cup. We've got the FA Cup. We've got the Carabao Cup. We've got plenty of games to play. And the new format of the Champions League is significantly different. You're not going to be playing Karabag and Ludogorets. You're in giant groups that this week you're playing Real Madrid. The following week you're playing Barcelona. And the week after you're playing Bayern. You're going to need players. And injuries, we know how they are. We don't know what the physio team looks like now. We're going to need all these players. But the question is who plays and who doesn't.
There's a good point here as well that we should make. We don't want Virgil playing 50 games next year.
No.
Virgil
doesn't want 50 games.
I don't think Virgil wants to play 50 games. By the sound of his comments, he doesn't want to play 50 games. But I think if he thinks if I can squeeze another league title or the Champions League winner out of Liverpool with a couple of years to go, then fantastic. So Virgil has to be managed as well. So that's where, again, that's why Konate is so important. I keep saying it to people. It's so important. You have to do 50 games for me. We're back to your top form. I seen you be man of the match in the Champions League final, fella. I know the level you can get to, but you have to get back to that level for us to help out with Kwanzaa and help out with Verge and go to Verge. You're not playing against Forest, Ipswich at home and all that. You're not playing. Don't even come on the bus. Yeah. Like, just stay at home and then we can all go from there. So that's why Konate is a big part of all this chat, I think.
Ryan makes a good point. This is why I was semi-hesitant, but I think still, I even without knowing the formation or how we're going to play, I mean, I have some notions about like a guy like Costas and stuff like that, for example. But I know what he's saying. That's why I feel like you keep Sepp. And I would like to see what we get out of Sepp, personally. Sure. But if you get somebody who's coming in and giving 15, 20, you do move him. Because I feel like we do keep Gomez as the backup left back. And this is based on how he's played in the past more than like what he's trying to plan for the future. So he almost does convert it like a back 3 so that, he releases the right back up. Kind of like what we were doing last year. And I think Gomez fits that actually better than Robertson.
That might fit for Gomez and Trent.
But also Joe Gomez hasn't played the game centre half in like 2.5 years.
But no, I mean, it's a left back that basically when you have the ball becomes a 3.
Yeah. So we're all keeping Sepp.
Yes. I think we're keeping Sepp. Okay. Maybe it's wishful thinking on our parts, but we're hoping to get something out of him. Let's put it that way. Okay, but if somebody knocks on the door and gives 20 for Sepp, I'm driving him over there.
Okay, fair.
Okay. Kwanzaa, I think it's a no-brainer.
Easy. No-brainer.
Tell him. No, I'm just kidding. We're keeping him. Connor Bradley.
No-brainer for me. I think you keep him.
I think you loan him.
Ooh. Who are you playing right back?
Let's bring
I'm
back
playing Trent right back.
For 60 games? You just said then there's loads of games.
Trent plays right back. Well,
for 60 games,
we've got Joe. That's why I'm so serious about Costas, because Joe Gomez plays right back. No, I didn't say hey Siri. What are you doing?
You said you wanted the natural left back, but now you don't want the natural right back.
Costas plays left back.
Yes.
Joe Gomez plays right back.
Right.
Trent starts.
Okay.
Joe Gomez is his backup. Robo starts. Costas is his backup.
Is Joe Gomez a better right back than Conor Bradley?
we've seen what he did last season at left back.
Correct.
And I would say he performed better than Robertson most of the season when he played. He got called up for the England national team because of his performances at left back.
But not right back.
Here's my issue.
But that's what he really is, though. He prefers to be a right back.
But if you're pushing up somebody who's playing right back,
the only reason why I'm loaning Connor is not because I don't like him. I think he's quite possibly one of our best players based on last season. But I want him to go get that starting position, get a full season out in a Premier League team, and then come back the following season and become our official starting right back. But the debate with Trent this season is going to be: is he going to play midfield? He's going to play right back. It's going to be so much commotion around it. Then he's going to play right back. We just know Arne is not going to play him in the midfield. He's going to play him in the right back. So why waste Connor's talent? Why waste Connor Bradley's opportunity of playing so much football over we don't know what we're going to do with him yet?
I think the issue is, though, Phil, without the issue with a loan is you need to find out, first of all, the right club to loan him to, who play the right progressive style of football. You can't loan him to a Sam Allardyce. You know what I mean? You've got to loan him to a team who's going to play that way. And I don't think there's also a part of the team that you want to loan into. They want to win football matches. I think with centre-halves, when you loan them out, it's very, very difficult with defenders, because if you loan them out and you go, you had a great season, but you only won 8 games, there's no anyone. I want to see you win games, because you're going to come to Liverpool and you're going to be on 70% of the ball and you're going to win 40 games out of 55 in a season. So I think sometimes it's better the level you know. I understand Anand's point, and it's fair. It's a complete fair argument. I think if Liverpool do something like with the Nico Williams and you get 20-odd million for him, then you might, look at it then. But I don't think it's worth loaning him.
Well, the question is, I'd want to loan him. I don't think the club would want to loan him.
Not a chance.
Yeah, I don't think the club would want to loan him. I said loan him to give him some
I get that.
Guaranteed starter minutes. But I don't think the club would want to loan him, period. I don't see it happening in a million years.
Yeah, see, I don't want to loan him or anything like that. I mean, based on what we saw, he's ready to be Trent's backup because he plays in a similar style. He pushes up. And if you're taking, if you're replacing somebody due to an injury or rotation or whatever, I would rather replace him with somebody similar in style.
Yeah. Well, and again, not to keep bringing up our former manager, but even he said, okay, kid needs more experience. And after he played him a few games, he sat him out. He said, let him get more experience. He's still young. So I'm not taking away anything from Bradley, because he had a string of games where I was like, holy shit, this is like prime Cafu, right?
I mean, listen, for Bradley though, and I get that, but he looked fucked. He was knackered, which is a kid, which is completely.
Well, I don't think we got one game where he played 90 minutes. He could never finish in the style he's playing. He made it till the 80s one time, I think. But I don't think he played 90.
I think he played twice 90.
Really? I always remember him coming out like 60, 80 and stuff like that.
I think it was Sparta Prague at home when we were already through and everyone just passed the ball down. I think maybe Chelsea at home when he scored. I think he might have done 90 that game, but don't quote. I remember he scored a peeler against Chelsea.
Yeah, from the corner.
Some finish, by the way. I think he might have played, but yeah, you are right. He very rarely played 90.
I feel like, you keep him. Here's the thing. I mean, we have to make up our minds with this stuff too, because when we talk about loaning to get time, but then what would Klopp do? He wanted him to practice with the main team and develop, because I think it goes back to Kazi saying you might develop better staying around and playing with Van Dijk and Trent and stuff, as opposed to going to Wigan Athletic and just starting, but like playing like a jacked up system or something like that.
I say it all the time, mate, the best thing that happened to Trent Alexander-Arnold, the best ever thing that ever happened to him, Sadio Mane was running on him every single training session. Exactly, yeah. And you're not playing against anyone better than Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
Like in the world though, like no one else is going to beat you. So I understand that, it's a very fair argument that you've got, mate. It really is, and I get it. I just feel like for Liverpool right now, loaning Bradley's a poor one for me, especially because, by the way, Trent was out for like 3 months last year. Yeah. Trent was out for a while, so we also might need a bit more fitness and stuff. And I
think he will be out more as you push him more up the field, because he's going to get more. I think it's a bit easier to.
We could come back to the Bradley debate when we know where the hell Trent's going to play.
Yeah, that's another
fair point. Okay.
But I think we're kind of in semi-agreement that he is a right back, but he's playing in a different role, kind of similar to probably what he did in the past.
This is also nice Tim, that there's 3 of us, and we can just vote it out, and we win. Bradley stays.
Damn it.
Bradley stay. I say stay. You're saying loan, and
cancel the loan deal, guys. He's staying. We're keeping him.
Oh, Endo, man. Fuck me.
Endo, I would say stay. He's the new Milner from Japan.
He's not the new Milner from Japan. He can play one position. Absolutely not.
Oh, I mean, he comes in the 60th, 70th minutes of games to finish off games, kick people, get a yellow card.
I would keep Just, but I tell you right now, fella, if Liverpool signed a centre mid by now, I would have fucked them off. But I would keep him Just, but I wouldn't start him.
Stay because he ain't going nowhere. I'm just being logical right now.
Honestly, even if we sign somebody, we still need a backup number 6.
Well, we've got plenty of midfielders. The question is, how many midfielders do we want to stack?
That's the conversation we'll probably have. We don't need a backup number 6, Tim. We need a number 6.
I understand, but even
if the backup number 6,
who's your backup 6? I guess we're gonna get to Bajcetic and we'll go over there. Okay, let's keep going.
We'll have a chat about him.
Anand's
don't even ask.
PFF.
Walk. Just walk.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna stay. They were already making excuses for him. He's like, he's not totally. He was still kind of injured in the Euros
because he was.
He's staying because he's bang lucky. He's staying because my God, for 6 months he was absolutely dreadful. But I would also give him a second chance. So just stay.
Yeah, I mean, based on the beginning and based on what you have potential-wise, it's like a dumb thing.
I'll always say this about Down. We know what he's capable of, but he hasn't shown it fully yet.
Yes. Well,
yeah. but neither did Naby Keita, so God bless.
Yeah, God bless you. Come
on. McAllister is a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Curtis Jones, to me, is a no-brainer.
Just skip to number 38. Skip Jones and the guy next to him, because if those two guys aren't pinnacles and most important guys in the club, I don't know who is. Just go.
For the sake of John, I say we keep Gravenberg. I think we keep Gravenberg.
I don't even have an opinion on him. Is that harsh? I don't have an opinion on him.
I would not really. I think I'm probably the same, to be honest. I don't care what happens.
I think we can make a fair opinion on him.
Yeah, I think he needs a full summer and a full preseason. I want to see him start every preseason game, every single one. And he didn't. I know he might be coming back a bit later, and people will get into that. But he didn't play a minute for Netherlands. He should be back early anyway.
He should be healthy.
Should have been back as soon as that game ended.
Well, you should have been, but you should be back anyway, just to fucking get your career back on track. So I want to see him. And by the way, how much would that be if he walks in next week, comes back 2 weeks early, and goes, "No, I want to fucking get my shit together."
Yeah.
And the fans would give him a load of a pass then as well, wouldn't it? So. Yeah, I'd keep.
I mean, I feel like if we're talking about Szoboszlai and giving him another shot, blah blah blah, it's extremely unfair not to say the same to Gravenberg, who got.
But we saw what Szoboszlai is capable of. We're aware of what Szoboszlai is capable of.
But we don't
know what Szoboszlai can do.
Some stuff from Gravenberg where we're like, oh wow.
I'd argue in the 6 Europa League games, Gravenberg is Liverpool's best player in the midfield.
He was good. I don't know about the best player, but I know what you mean.
In midfield, as a midfielder, he was up there. I think he was.
He gave 2 good performances, maybe 3, but the amount of times he lost the ball. Szoboszlai had 9, so screw you.
Yeah. Trust me, Anand was counting, but I can't remember 9 games. I can remember 3-4 games where I was like, "This Szoboszlai." I remember beginning of the season, I'm like, "Man, this guy is something." And then I was like, "Who is this guy?"
It's the pressure of being in England, guys. It's tough. Okay.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, he was great against the Championship side Leicester in the League Cup. Let's move on.
How about Villa? That goal? Come on now.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, move on.
Bajcetic. This is a tricky one.
I'll loan him.
It's not tricky at all.
Loan him.
You keep him.
Oh, what?
I think you keep him and roll the dice.
Roll the dice on how many games is he going to play?
Yeah, injury-wise. Rolling dice basically when it comes to injury. That's what I mean by rolling the dice.
This is my last hope in seeing anything Thiago related at the club. You don't touch the film.
We haven't sold the midfielder between 3 of us here. We've kept everyone.
Well, we need to get rid of. We have. Hold on. 3, 6.
We've kept 6.
We have 7.
Yeah, but we haven't got to the others yet. We need to get new lads to come in. Would you argue we need a centre mid? We
need a holding midfielder without a single doubt.
I mean, okay, if we had a center mid, he's gonna fold even down. If you sign a number 6, then you move Endo or Bajcetic.
Loan the kid.
Okay, so I will give you a clear answer on this one after the first few preseason games, because I think his ceiling is very high. I think his talent is there. I think we've seen what he can do. Yes, the injuries took him away from us last season, but the question is, what kind of recovery path is he on? Is he ready to go? Is he not? Would I be okay with loaning him?
Yeah.
Honestly, now that you guys said that, he hasn't played a fucking minute of football in a year. He played 7 minutes. So maybe
He's a kid.
Okay, 98 minutes. So you know what? Get your facts.
But not
straight.
for the first team.
Oh, I don't know what this 98 is.
I think he played like fucking 20 minutes in the Europa League, I think, and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, he came in at the end.
He did. Yeah. So would I be okay with loaning him now that we're talking? Yeah, he could go out there and get some minutes. Yeah. But maybe he steps into this preseason and we're seeing this magical player that we know he was, and we're like, okay, we might have just found someone that can fill a position.
I'm hoping he's a young Thiago.
Though, by the way, he's not a number 6.
He's not
strong enough. He's not big enough. I know he's put some weight on. He's just not tall. He's not commanding enough. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
What I like is how he likes to drop back, pick the ball up, and move it. I enjoy that. But hey, if he goes out on loan and we're signing somebody that's a natural number 6,
he's a brilliant player.
I'm on board.
I'm with you, boys, by the way. I'm with you. He's brilliant. He's fucking brilliant. But he has to be loaned to like a really good progressive side who gets on the ball. And do you know what I mean? I'd love him to go to like a Premier League side or whatever it is to go and really prove that. I'd loan him.
He's only 19. Yeah, I mean, it's like
kid.
I wouldn't be as opposed to a loan out, but that, like I say, goes back to what we're talking about. Depends on who's coming in. Somebody has to be coming in. Otherwise, you don't want to send anybody who can play defensively, because we're kind of like going into a situation. Good thing Saido isn't here this morning to rant and rave, but that's by week 4, McAllister is going to be a 6 again, and that's really what I want.
I hope not.
Come on.
Okay, these are going to be a bit trickier. We know. Okay, let's start with Luis Diaz.
Go ahead, Anand. You go first.
It's keep.
Sell.
It was like, Anand was like, keep, and then waited for like.
Yeah, like where are we going with this? You keep Diaz. Great tournament at the Copa America. Great season last season. The guy has shown what he can do.
Great.
Did you see how we started and how we finished the season? Forget the middle of the season.
Okay, cool. That's okay. So
how he started the season,
Christmas, the chunk of the season. Forget that. Okay, cool. Go on.
How he started the season, drop in form, came back, finished the season strongly, and then we move on. He goes to the Copa America, one of the best players in South America, one of the best players in the tournament. Yeah. Look what he's done for his country.
Yeah,
he can do it all.
Like, what did you do? Okay, let me ask you this, and I understand. I love Diaz. I like the style of winger he is in terms of attacking and stuff.
We don't see those wingers around anymore.
In Copa America, that you said, yeah, there's like another layer to his game. It's not going to be the same guy we saw. Aside from wrestling, I mean, his efforts, you cannot, like he's nonstop pressing and, running after the ball, putting his body in harm's way, whatever. But aside from that, like the final pass, diving into 3 people, which maybe he's expected to and okay with over there. But what did you see like when you were watching and that you're like, you know what? He is the next Sadio Mane, as Sir Z would say.
But he's not the next Sadio Mane.
Okay, what is he?
Nope. Sadio Mane is Luis Diaz.
Only Nico Williams is the next Sadio Mane.
Yeah. Okay. What I like about Diaz, when I started watching football, wingers were a very special thing. They would just take the ball, hug the sideline, dribble, make it all happen, and then make that final pass.
More old school, yes.
This is what I enjoy about a winger. We haven't had that kind of winger in a while. I mean, the last one I remember is probably Albert Riera. But then you've got the likes of Sadio Mane who like to cut in with and without the ball. Very different type of winger. I enjoy the way Diaz plays. I like his creativity. Last season, how many games did we see where we're struggling to get the ball? So he takes the ball and he just dribbles through everybody. He goes through everybody and he tries to do something. That's what I enjoy.
You just see him try to go through everybody and not be able to go through everybody, though.
That's football.
I mean, come on.
That's not football. That was football.
It's not football anymore.
Yeah, that was football.
Well, fuck Pep. We got to go back to it.
Here's my thing on Sadio Mane. Sorry, here's my thing on Sadio Mane. It's my thing on Luis Diaz. Genuinely, I don't think he's the same player since his injury. I know he had his issues last year. I think the injury ruined him. I think it was as bad. Didn't he come back and get a setback and he was out longer?
Yeah. He came back and then, actually, no, I don't even know if he came back. He never came back.
He went to training and he got a setback the first day of training, not even 20 minutes in.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why I just feel like the injuries ruined him. I think if Liverpool, and I also don't like his agent trying to tout him to Barcelona or every fucking time someone puts a mic in front of him. Do you know what I mean?
Have we seen how much he gets paid a week?
He has. I mean, I know he's on pennies and he's on fucking.
Yeah, I think what his dad is trying to do, I genuinely think his dad is just trying to either put pressure on the club to pay him more or to go to a club where he's going to make at least 100,000.
I have no issue. By the way, mate, I have no issue in your arguments, and I get that. He's very direct. It's rare to see that out of a wing of these, but his finals ball is poor. It's poor, and we'll get that to the other lad in a second. He's the number 9, but the final pass is the most important pass. But it is the most important pass. It's the final pass. It's the hardest pass to make. It's the hardest to sit. That's why it's an assist. That's why you get the credit for that. So, as much as we all know he's got talent and ability, he's 28 in January. Like, if I offered you Tony Gordon now at 23, would you take him?
Well, I was on board with that. I just think, and by the way, your argument about a good tournament for Diaz, I argue there's a good tournament for Gakpo on the left wing. So you're also in a tough spot. I just think to get the most out of him, is it now or never for Diaz? You know what I mean? I'd just sell him. So if we're selling Diaz, go ahead.
That's why we're saying kind of like, he's at his peak value right now is how we're looking at it. Like compared to the guy we're going to talk about next, right? Like if you're going to sell him at any given point, this is probably the ideal time to sell.
So here's the question. If we're selling Diaz, are we replacing him with someone? Are we signing someone? Or are we just going players short?
No.
You're signing somebody.
You're signing a left winger. You're signing Nico Williams. You're signing Anthony Gordon. You're signing a fucking footballer.
I hope we can sign Nico Williams. I doubt it, but that's wishful thinking.
You get 50 million for Diaz. Comfortably 50 million.
If I get 50 million for Diaz, I'd sell.
Yeah, easy.
I'd sell.
I think 50 is low, really?
Well, at his age,
27.
His age?
He is like 27.
Well, he just said he's going to be 28 in a few months.
28 anyway.
And how many years does he still have in his contract? 2, right?
2 or 3, I think. Yeah, I think he's on the 5-year deal.
He's ours for a while.
Well, I mean, look, if I'm getting 50 plus, and I know for sure I'm signing a Gordon, or I don't know.
Of course, that's the argument. Yeah, that's the argument. I think you're selling on the back. We're going to get a good replacement.
Yes,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you keep him. And I agree with that. I think I'm in the same boat. By the way, I wouldn't sell him without a replacement coming in.
Yeah. No, I think like if you get, but if you're gonna sell him, it's like now or never in my eyes. But I do like how. And here's another thing, goes back to, football that Anan used to watch. But we don't know. Goes back to what Ryan was saying earlier. We don't know how he's gonna use the wingers. We've used the wingers where we do want him to cut inside, and that's where he gets lost. Like he starts cutting inside with the ball. And he doesn't know where he's going. Before he knows, he's like holding Mo's hand on the right wing. It's like, how did I end up over here? Because he kind of lose. I don't think he's a good system player. It works in Colombia because I think he has a much more free role. They have like the number 9. What was this guy's name?
I want to give Diaz full credit, by the way. Yeah, right. He ran his legs off in that League Cup final, and he was unbelievable.
I think he does every game. I can't remember a lazy game by Diaz.
Exactly. No one is arguing his ability like that. Like he'll try and he'll die for you, right? Yeah. But is he good enough? Has the injury ruined him? I think it has.
I also, when we talk about his mid-season drop of form, and I know you guys know what happened to him mid-season, so it's like I know I don't want to give the guy excuses, but I mean his dad was only kidnapped. Like,
I know, and I get all that, and I understand.
I mean, who hasn't had that, right? It's like
it happens every week.
I get that, and I completely understand. But before his dad was kidnapped, fella, he was poor. Like, you know what I mean? I just think the injury.
He knew his dad was going to get kidnapped.
Oh, of course he did. That's why you let it happen.
He just said, "Fuck it, do your thing, guys."
I've seen enough video of his dad to know when his dad's annoying me now, so I can see why he would love you. But anyway,
listen, any player in this team
against City, we might be talking about.
So when all of us are on sell, as long as there's a basis, there's a replacement.
Any player in this team that we can get a better replacement for, sell. That's where I am. Especially the standouts that we know we can make some money off of. The likes, and I hate to say this, Verge, if he's talking about I might end and retire, I don't know, I'm uncomfortable. We know we can land a big name center back, and we know this is the last chance we can cash on him. Cash out.
Yeah.
I hate this next part. Mo, if he's gonna do the same thing, I don't know, with this season, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, and we can cash out. But I'm not just gonna say fuck him, sell him. We got no replacement. Fuck him. Who cares?
I mean, Ryan is saying, was he poor at the beginning of the year? I would argue Diaz was a bright spot. I think, there were a lot of games where we felt like everything was so freaking static and we weren't doing anything. Like, where is the goal going to come from? There were a lot of games like that. And then Diaz was the only one. I mean, Gordo has talked about this in the past on Wednesday. Like, he's the kind of old school winger who's going to be like, let me take somebody on. And I think that's when a lot of us felt like he's the only one trying out there kind of a thing. But I feel like along the same lines, that's the role he wants to do, kind of his own thing. And will that change? Will it be more tactically sound? That's why I think advantage, I know like we would talk about this with Bickler in the past, where like Gakpo's advantage is more about being able to be a tactical fit. Like, you know what I mean? Like play within tactics and know where to be. Whereas, you know, Diaz is a more old school South American player. It's like roll the ball out there and let's go kind of thing. So that's my biggest issue.
Let's see the next player, Tim, on that list.
I'm not even going to participate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying keep because like we talked with Diaz, it's the complete flip side where it's the lowest value you're going to get. So there's nothing to lose from this season in seeing what Slot can do. If he has the same type of season, we get the same money for him. If Slot can use him differently, if the system can change to suit him better, whatever the case might be, he goes to the left. I don't care. You might be able to increase his value, and you might get somehow the potential that the dude actually has. That's why I say sell, not because like, oh, he's untouchable like freaking Anan over here. But
nobody's untouchable at the club. Let me say that.
Except me.
But
keep it as just to keep it.
But
keep him just to keep him.
I would sell Nunes. I think the time has come. But I think his race is ran in terms of what we know. I don't think he's going to improve any more than what we think he is. I think there's an argument that if you do keep Nunes, if you do keep Nunes, he has to play probably every game down the middle because you need to find out what he's about. I don't know if Liverpool can do that. I don't know if Liverpool can say to him, you're guaranteed 35, 40 games next season down the middle if you're fit. Because I don't know what he is. I don't know what you do with him. I think he's just too raw for Liverpool. And Liverpool haven't got time to do this. That's what I'm saying. With certain positions on a pitch, you have time to mould a player. For example, centre mid. You can play a player in centre mid when you had Henderson and Wijnaldum, these legs around you to go, well, you're going to make mistakes in the game, but don't worry because we're here to help you. Number 9 for Liverpool, fella, is not a place where you can learn on the job. Do you know what I mean? That's not it's a very lonely place to be number 9 for Liverpool down the middle. And that's why we were so spoiled with like a Firmino. By the way, Liverpool have been spoiled for number 9 for 20 years. With like when and Owen leaves and Torres and all these kind of Liverpool always replace the number 9. Suarez comes in and
but Ryan says, what can we get for him? Like really, what is realistic?
I think 30 million. I think you still get 50 million. I still think the ability's there and the raw ability. That's some top club will take a chance on for 50
I don't
million.
know who's giving him 50, man.
Oh, easy.
Because it has to be a top club, like you said.
PSG.
To give 50.
Yeah.
I don't know who's saying,
PSG.
especially knowing the situation, who's coming to bail us out at 50. I say you get
18 goals.
If you get 30.
He still scores. I think he still scores 18 goals last season, doesn't he? So I still think there's an argument. Liverpool try and sell him, go, hey lads, he got 18 last year. You know.
I just don't think any club who's going to able to spend 50 on their striker will be like, that's the guy we want to spend it on.
And that's fair enough. But there's an argument. If I'm, for example, saying I am Atletico Madrid, I think you'd fucking love Simeone.
Go to a new washing machine to get rid of him.
I mean, listen, everyone knows my opinion on, but I feel like I've been proved right in a sense. And I don't feel like he's kind of jumped to the level I wanted him to jump to. We all agree that he has the ability, all the best ability in the world. But Ryan Babel had the best ability in the world. But he doesn't have a brain cell between them. He can't put it together.
Yeah, he has the physical ability and he has the occasional finish. It's just, I mean, you go back to that final. He has a couple of opportunities where he finishes those. That game, like they might win the final. It's a totally different game.
I'll bring you in a second.
Over there. Colombia comes down and scores. The game is over.
We'll bring you in a second about this because I know you're his biggest defender. But Liverpool win the league if he takes his chances. I'm sorry because early on in the season, the Luton away one is unforgivable. The Luton away is unforgivable. Yeah. It's fucking 2 yards out across the box. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like at the certain moments of the season, I'm trying to give the lad the credit. I'm trying to help the lad. I want to back him. I really, because I want him to succeed. I want every player to succeed at Liverpool. But I just think I've seen enough from him, man. That's all.
As a club, Liverpool won't sell because it's simple. They're going to lose a lot of money.
What do you want to do? That's not the argument of what Liverpool want to do. What do you want to do?
I would not want I want him to stay at the club. I want him to have that one last chance. But I stand by that. I want him to have that one last chance. Not only to reincorporate his career, but also so my club can get the proper amount of money for him the following season. Because we signed him at a high price tag. It's not excusable. But now, do we sell him at a loss, or do we say there's a new manager, there's a new system, who the manager, by the way, took it upon him as a challenge to see what he can do with Darwin? He might get the most out of him, but he might also say, you know what? You guys are right. He's got to go. but hopefully we can get good performances from him this season, enough goals, so we can, if we decide to sell him next season, make some money.
Okay.
Do I think the likes of Barcelona would be interested in him next season? Absolutely. They've got no true striker. They're going to need somebody to come in and play, but we're not selling this season. Can he go there? If PSG don't sign Victor Osimhen, can he go there? Yes. There's so many opportunities for him to move if we sell him next season, but this is not the season to sell him. He's going to have a full, hopefully, good season to go, score some goals, play in the Champions League, play high-level football, and give us the Darwin that we think we can get out of him, the Darwin that played Liverpool and why we signed him.
I don't know. I mean, that's wishful thinking, but unfortunately,
absolutely, it's
I don't
very
think you
wishful
have
thinking.
anything to lose at this stage, but you definitely have a lot to gain. So I think the risk reward of like selling, I think that's where I'm at. Like, you kind of, if he has a solid season, like Anana's painting this picture over here, like we're all happy anyway. If it's the same Nunez that we've had and we're frustrated and we're like beating Anan every Friday, so then you probably sell him for next season. Whatever.
How many goals is a perfect season for Darwin? Keep in mind, he will be our starting number 9. How many goals is a good number?
I don't think it's number of goals. I think it's how many chances he takes.
I go with that because that's the problem with him. They're like, oh, he scores so many goals at the. Well, it doesn't like him scoring.
Well, he's a striker. Strikers are going to miss
the game. The game came to the 94th minute because he didn't take the chances earlier.
Not miss. And I get what you just said there, and strikers do miss. You're correct. Not miss the chances he gets, fella. You can't miss the chances he gets.
And I don't want to get into that because I know we're way past our time, but how many of those chances has he created? Like you guys are talking about the Uruguay one. 2 of those chances he created out of nothing. One of them, the ball bumps him, bumps the defender, and he goes. The other one,
if you don't do anything with it.
I know.
You're creating chances.
Okay, you don't win with chances, you win with goals.
How many strikers are going to miss?
But he could be like a Timo Werner.
Yeah, we don't want that. I agree. We don't want that. We don't want an Higuain. We don't want a Timo Werner. I agree.
And unfortunately, goals pay the bills, and that's how it is. And I want the lad to do well so much. I want him to succeed, but my eyes don't lie, fella. Your eyes don't lie. Sometimes his body attitude in the derby at Goodison Park was a disgrace. He was absolutely disgusting. I know that's like personal to me because it's that game. He was a fucking disgrace to lead the line at Goodison Park like that and play like that. You are a disgusting human being. Like, how dare you?
That performance at West Ham too. Yikes.
Of course, no, I'm sorry, but Liverpool. I'm going to say Liverpool are going for the league title there, fella. Liverpool's still in the title race. Liverpool go and beat Everton at Goodison Park. They're still banging it, and you play like that. You play like you gave up in the game. It's just, I'm sorry, fella. It needs to be called on. And I'm with you. And by the way, it's hard to sell Diaz and a Nunez. If you had to pick which one you'd sell, if I said you're getting the same money for both, what would you do?
Well, give him the same money for. Okay, that doesn't. Is like you getting 50 for each?
No, I'd sell Diaz because I have a Gakpo that can play in the left.
Okay,
I have yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but see, I would rather sell Nunez and get a replacement for Nunez with that 50. If it's 50 though, if I'm getting 30, I'm not selling him. Then
let's move on because we'll be here all day. Come on, let's move on.
We'll get that because we're gonna get to Jota next soon. So the debate is there.
Don't mean you banked. Only in a way, Gordo can explain analogies. Yes, like in terms of creating chances. But I do agree with Philip to see if Slot can do anything to Nunez to make him into what we bought him for. And then if he fails, like I say, I don't think
exactly what I said.
You don't have a lot to lose. You just don't.
That's exactly what I said.
Mo. Okay, we're gonna have to go quick.
Skip. Don't even talk. Yeah, give him a new contract.
New contract, 10-year deal. Next.
I know about the 10, but I agree on
that. He's still like a 22-year-old.
Okay, keep only if he signs an extension.
Of course, sell him a new deal, 10 years. He's built like a 22-year-old. He had his first real injury of his career last year. He wasn't fully fit. Keep. Move. Gakpo, keep. Standard.
Easy one. Okay, here's a tricky one. Diogo Jota.
Keep.
I say keep too and roll the dice. I know his injury.
Probably our most natural goal scorer when it comes to actually getting goals is Jota. But how many games are you going to get out of him where he's fit? His injury struggles are why we're like, fuck, what happens now? Darwin's out, Jota's out, Gakpo's out. What do we do? I'm not going to say sell or loan, whatever. I'm going to say keep, but I'm going to say what I said, the same thing about Sepp. Which Jota are we going to have? Are we going to have a healthy one? Or are we going to have an injured one?
I agree. But
have we ever had a long term? It's like what Kazi was saying about Konate, though. Have we ever had it where he's healthy for extended?
And that's where it makes a good argument. And again, I'm not saying it. I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying something controversial, but that's why maybe we're selling doesn't sound so bad. If we're talking about a guy who we've got out of him 20 games, 22 games.
I think there's an argument though, fella. If I offered you, I think there's other business to do, and I agree with you. But if Liverpool were perfect, the squad, I think then you'd start talking about the Jota and the Canate. But if I said to you now, you can keep out of Diaz, Nunes, or Jota, you keep Jota. That's why I'm thinking I think that's why I think there's other things to do before. Jota's like 7th on the list. But I agree with you. If Liverpool were in perfect position and won the league last year, I would probably have a chat about Jota. You know what I mean? But right now, I just think there's other important things we got to do first.
Yeah, I think for a guy to bring off the bench, I can't think of a better name. That's why, in a game where you're struggling, that's the guy I want coming.
I also think he's happy with that role, which is hard to find for players. Hard to find. They're happy with that role, so that's why I think Jota's a key.
I don't know if he's happy with that role. I don't know if he feels like once he gets enough, he won't have.
Well, here's the thing. If Jota gets a string of games and Nunez is Nunez, I'd want Jota to start. I don't want him coming off the bench. I want my natural goal scorer scoring goals. Yeah. So is that opportunity for competition there for Jota to be the starter? Yes. But like I said, do we get a fit Jota or not? That's the only debate, because if you doubt his talent or his ability to score goals, you haven't watched him play.
Yeah.
But it's just his fitness. I mean, he's a less injured Thiago. He's just continuously injured, and it stresses me out because when Nunez was playing like absolute shit last season, when I flipped out on Tim, you're like, holy shit, you're saying this? I wish Jota was fit. I wished. Yeah. So the fucker can see how to put the chances away.
I agree with you. I think if Jota's fit towards the end of the season, Liverpool would probably get closer to the league.
Well, in that period, if he came back when he was originally supposed to come back,
was he, by the way?
Whole different situation.
When he came back for those like 15 games, how good was he? He kept us in games. He scored winners. He was unbelievable, weren't he? And
he got 3 winners in back-to-back games, and we're like, oh my god,
like 15 goals and 32 appearances last season, looks like. A lot of them.
That's 24 games less than Darwin.
Hey, Tim, how many minutes did he play last season? It's already on that.
1,700.
1,700. How many goals did he get?
15.
So that's a goal every 113 minutes.
Yeah, didn't Nunez play like 2,600 or 25 or 24?
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you got to figure Nunez played 3,000 minutes.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. This is your natural goal scorer.
Yeah.
Listen, if I had a healthy, fit Jota that wasn't injury prone, I assure you I'll be the first one to say cash in on Darwin, fix something else.
Well, we're keeping him, right? That's the concept.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. Carvalho, this goes back to we don't know what the hell we're going to be doing. But at this point, my point with him is stop loaning him, either sell him or keep him.
Keep him. Just keep him. But I would also say he's got to play 20 games.
We're aware of the talent. We know what the kid can do. He just didn't get a string of games together. And when we thought he would after getting the last-minute winner at Newcastle, he got loaned out 2 weeks after. So I really can't say anything. I'd like to see him play because, yeah, I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see him stay. If it doesn't work out, you loan him out in January.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're playing a similar system, he's not going to fit. So sell him now because it's not going to work.
Well, the question is, how much money do we get for him? Do we get 5-10 million?
Oh, you get more, 20.
I don't know about 20, but I think
the ceiling's so high that like the loan spell of Hull helped them massively, and the ceiling is so.
I think so. I mean, he did really well for Hull.
The age is there, mate. The ceilings. Liverpool get 20 million for Tyler Moore. Like that's like the level now. 20 million is just a standard price that you pay.
I don't know why it didn't come up on this.
It might be on loan section below. It might be on the.
No, that's Ramsey is the only one on down there. Last guy, Bandok.
Loan just because I want him to get minutes so he can come back and be something for us. We've seen what he can do last season and preseason.
Yeah, keep probably just because I want him to play. I'd love someone to play some kind of minutes for Mo Salah.
For right wing, right? Yeah.
Yes.
For like 10 minutes off the bench here and there and just see what he's about. But again, if like Anand said, if Liverpool go out and sign a right winger who's happy to do that kind of job for Liverpool, then I'll probably loan him out and see what he's about. But I don't want him to loan to the Scottish League. I want him to loan to like a high championship side.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, with him, I would rather, in an ideal situation, I would have us sign a bit more experienced right winger, like you're saying, to back up Mo, and then loan him to get full time because Mo doesn't want to come out. So he gets full time and plays a lot more. One, and then two, we can see if he can stay healthy playing a full season in a bigger league.
If Liverpool sign Brian Mbeumo from Brentford, then he gets done, doesn't he? You know what I'm saying? If Liverpool go and do like a Brian Mbeumo, he's that kind of type of player who's going to play right wing for Mo, and it swaps and changes, and Mo can do bits down the middle and all that because of his age. You want to save his kind of whatever that is. Then you probably loan him to a high end championship club though. I'm not loaning to the Scottish League.
No, yeah, I'll get him. I honestly, I mean, the only thing with the Scottish League is you can see his durability. But aside from, I would rather have him like play somewhere where we can see what he's
Keep
doing.
him in England. Yeah, keep him in England. Maybe,
even if it's
yeah.
championship, I'm okay with the championship.
We saw Fabio Carvalho go to Germany and he was absolute dog shit. Goes to the championship and he's reborn again. So keep the players in England. Don't ship them out.
There's an argument that high-end championship clubs like a Leicester, that Leicester side is a lower 10 Premier League club. So there might be teams down there who you can fit him into. Do you know what I mean? Who like a Leeds, for example. Leeds probably, you know what I mean? If he goes to Leeds on loan, everyone will be like, fucking get in. Like, that's a team that you want him to go to, kind of thing. But I don't want to loan him to like a Rodden. That doesn't help me.
Yeah. See, I think, for example, him being a winger is a total different situation. Like with Carvalho, I see Carvalho as a one-trick pony. And that's why I think he like struggled in Germany. If the role is not exactly what he needs, he ain't adjusting. And we saw it with us too. Whereas Doak is a winger. I mean, you're a winger kind of a deal. But okay, let's end. I didn't think we would go through it. I mean, mind you, we went way over time than our normal. But let's end with the prediction. Next week, we meet over here playing Kazi's different games. Do we have a new signing to talk about?
July the 27th? 6th?
26th.
No.
You might have to bring that calculator back.
The only reason why it's a no is because the club will be traveling. Nobody's going to be announcing any signings, and nobody's going to bring on a signing on their first day on tour. So it's a no.
I am disappointed, though, that we haven't signed someone. I really am. And, by the way, I fully trust Edwards. I fully trust, and he's, by the way,
if it wasn't Edwards, I would panic more.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, if it was Liverpool last year, and this is another chat we can have next week, would Liverpool buy Darwin Núñez? Would Michael Edwards buy Darwin Núñez? Would Michael Edwards buy Szoboszlai? I don't know. Would he buy, by the way, would Michael Edwards bid 110 million for Caicedo? I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing.
We can have that chat next week. But it's more the fact of, if it wasn't Edwards, I'd be more worried. The man's earned his trust. He's earned us to be calm. He's earned that. Yeah. Let's find out what happens.
I'm scared that we haven't even had a single rumor come out about us interested in someone. I'm not worried. I'm scared.
Rabiot today, isn't it? Rabiot today on a free. That's the big one today.
Honestly,
so I've been pushing for that.
Usually with Edwards, the shit just you found out in 24 hours he was signed.
Yeah, just appears. Yeah, and
that's I've been pushing for Rabiot on a free before he was actually free when the news was coming out that he's leaving Juventus. I was pushing for that. This is a player we're over time, but this is a player we can use. This is a player we need. This is a player we want.
Yeah. Rabiot does loads for Liverpool. Oh, fucking hell, he helps shit out loads.
I mean, this is a guy who 2 years ago, Manchester United, City, Bayern, all were fighting for him. Now we can get him for a free. This is a no-brainer, and I hope we make the move for it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, prediction. So you're saying no. You're saying no.
No.
Unfortunately, I'm saying no as well. So we'll have to play different.
We agreed on something.
But hey, thanks for putting up with us all these minutes, playing our little game. We'll see what happens. We'll see how many of these happen at the end as well. But have an awesome weekend, everybody. No football, so I don't know what the hell you're going to do with yourself, but you'll figure out something. And we'll see you guys Monday morning. Take care.